20 years, Patrick White has been the Johnson County Attorney. Tonight, meet his replacement. Will it be Nick Maybanks or Janet Lyness? On Live and Local, we're going to find out a little bit about those candidates. It's Monday, May 15th, 2006. Thanks for joining us. Nick Maybanks, thanks for being on the show with us today.
Thanks for having me.
And my first question for you is, why are you a candidate for Johnson County Attorney?
Well, being a citizen of Johnson County now for about 4.5, 5 years, and a prosecutor, and a community activist with the Sierra Club and other organizations in town, I bring a unique perspective to the race. I've been watching the criminal justice system now for the last few years I've been here, and I've seen some problems with things. And I believe that we need to have some reform in the way certain cases are processed through our system. And I believe that that reform, that change, is best coming from the outside instead of the inside. Being a prosecutor, I understand criminal justice issues. Being someone who is a criminal prosecutor and is in court every day dealing with police officers, victims, victim advocates, probation officers, you name it, I know what the resources are in the system and how the current resources are being stretched because we're too bogged down on the prosecution of low-level, non-violent offenses. This is one of the main reasons I decided to run for Johnson County Attorney. I felt there were far too many young offenders in this community, low-level offenders, that were coming here and then were leaving with criminal records. The last statistics that we had were approximately 1 in 5 U of I college students leaving with a criminal record. I thought that we could implement programs easily. The county attorney could implement programs that would allow people to complete community service, obtain a treatment evaluation, or attend an educational class, and earn those charges off of their records. I also felt like there was some serious inaction on the part of the county attorney's office. I still feel that way. Specifically in regards to was probably the top issue that people think of when they think of criminal justice, and that's jail overcrowding. I felt like the county attorney was not doing enough as an agency to address jail overcrowding. There was a study a couple of years ago that came up with 42 different ways that we could address the jail overcrowding issue. And 38 of those ways, 38 of those actions that could be taken directly related to the county attorney. And the county attorney at the time proceeded to check off all of those 38 ways and say that we're just not going to do it. So I felt we needed a new face in there to address that. Along with writing a sensitive areas ordinance to protect our rural landscapes. The county attorney has refused to do that, and now of course we see that there's a battle over development, and this comes close to my heart, especially being the chair of the Sierra Club. I could go on. There's quite a few different reasons. Some specific cases come to mind too that I was a little disgruntled with as a citizen and as a prosecutor, but we'll talk about some of those things hopefully.
I'm running for Johnson County Attorney because based on my experience, my commitment to the community, as well as the change I can bring to that position, I think I'm the best candidate for that position. I look forward to making changes that I foresee being needed in that office. But I also have the experience prosecuting felonies, dealing with the civil work of the county. I'm the only candidate with that kind of experience. As well as I've been in the community for 28 years, and I have a strong commitment to this area. I have a strong commitment to all the different agencies and programs in our community, and I'm more aware of the assets and needs of our community. I believe I can get things done quicker because of my connections in the community.
Okay. And can you tell us about your experience and qualifications?
Certainly. I've been in the Johnson County Attorney's Office for almost 16 years now, and I've prosecuted many felonies as well as misdemeanors, but everything from murder cases, robbery cases, sex abuse, child sex abuse cases, domestic abuse, all of those kinds of cases. I've also supervised people in the office for the last 15 years, so I have that supervisory experience as well. I've also done for the last 7, 8 years, 9 years, I think, almost, done the civil work for Johnson County. So I've represented the Board of Supervisors, Conservation Board, all the different county departments, ambulance, mental health, developmental disabilities, had to deal with issues that have arisen in those different departments and dealt with them. That happens to be a large part of what the Johnson County Attorney does, is being responsible for all the agencies in Johnson County, advising them on legal things, legal issues, contract issues, also enforcing such things as the open meetings and open record laws, Americans with disability. I've had experience doing all of that. So I think my qualifications really make me well suited from being in the county attorney's office. Additionally, though, my experience extends beyond just work. I've also been very active in different groups in the community that I think are very important, including Domestic Violence Intervention Program, Rape Victim Advocacy Program. I helped start the Johnson County Sexual Assault Response Team, which brought together university hospitals, Mercy Hospital, College of Nursing, law enforcement, Rape Victim Advocacy Program, and the Johnson County Attorney's Office to provide good examinations with sexual assault nurse examiners for victims of sexual abuse, coordinated with law enforcement, also coordinated with rape victims advocates, so that victims of sexual assault are getting really good responses, getting good investigations, getting good medical exams, and all of that, so that we can have increased prosecution, successful prosecution of sex abuse cases, as well as just having sex abuse victims treated better. So that kind of experience, too, of bringing together community groups to make change in how we do things, I have that experience as well. Plus, I'm a mother, active in the local PTA of my daughter's school. She's in second grade right now. Been very active in other groups too, like serving free lunch, helping. I used to be a crisis center volunteer. So my experience really extends beyond just the county attorney's office, but really my experience in the community with different groups, different organizations, things like that.
I have been a prosecutor now at the Lynn County Attorney's Office for 6 years. And for those of you watching this or anybody else wondering whether that's enough experience, just let me tell you what I've done in 6 years. I've prosecuted thousands of cases of all types and varieties in the criminal justice system, ranging from domestic abuse to child abuse to elder abuse to drunk driving to drug offenses, all levels of crimes, misdemeanors, and felonies. I've also obtained experience in some of the bigger cases, and the way I've done that is I've been aggressive about that. When difficult cases walk through the door, I ask to be handed those cases. I ask to participate in those cases. I've also brought to this position, I also bring to this position not just courtroom experience, but leadership beyond the courtroom, which I think is important for a county attorney. I haven't been hiding away in an office. I haven't been processing papers. I've been out in the trenches. I've been a member of the Sex Offender Registry Task Force in Lynn County, something that both Chief Hargadine and Lonnie Polk-Robick are interested in starting in Johnson County so we can track and monitor sex offenders, people that, regardless of what other people may say, are actually likely to reoffend and that we need to keep tabs on. The Drug Endangered Children Program to fight the influx of hardcore drugs in our community, not just the little bit of marijuana we see in the college student's pocket or in the young person's pocket. Real heroin, cocaine, methamphetamine intruding into our communities. Also on the Family Violence Coalition, a coalition formed to address domestic abuse and to find a protocol for dealing with domestic abuse cases that focus on prosecution, sometimes without the victim's cooperation, because we know that those of us in the system, that's not always easy to get. So I just want to emphasize that my experience is not only in the cases, but it's also going after the leadership roles and trying to be a leader in the community as the county attorney.